Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Lia Zalums and I am an executive leadership development coach for STEMM executives, leaders and managers, and we are discussing the 4 dimensions of mental toughness in a 5-part series. So we have talked about confidence, control, and this week we are now talking about commitment. So just as a quick recap then, mental toughness is a very rich psychology framework that we use to assess and analyze a high-performing leader, their mindset, their attitudes, their behaviors, and this is done in a series of 4 dimensions. So 1 being confidence, 2 being commitment, 3 being control, 4 being challenge. So confidence, if you recall, is that unerring belief in our ability to deliver. And so the onus is on the leader, and do they want to deliver? Do they want to be that person driving and striving results? So confidence plays into that. Control, how effectively do we as leaders, how much influence do we believe we have on driving outcomes, and what is our ability to control our emotions, that vast array of big feelings that happen when things go wrong, when things don't go our way, when we get criticized, when the spotlight is on us and we're just not delivering to the extent that we know we can. How effectively do we deal with that? Do we continue to put one foot in front of the other and appear calm and appear as though we are still on track and in our stride in working towards that desired outcome? Or are we anxious? Are we defensive? Are we quick to anger? These are the sorts of things we talked about in the discussion last week around the dimension of control. This week, the topic is commitment. And what is commitment in a leader? A committed leader strives to deliver on their promise, to deliver outcomes. So commitment is all about delivering. And here we're really looking deeply into what motivates a leader. And this is particularly important when you're looking to hire someone into a leadership role, or if you're looking to promote someone. What is their capacity in this moment to their capacity, but also their motivation? What drives them? And commitment has 2 subcategories. One is their goal orientation and the other is achievement orientation. And by segmenting this out, what we're looking for and listening for is how important is it to that leader to set goals? Do they like setting goals? Do they like working towards goals? Do they like measuring the process of steps to achieve those goals? And are they able to maintain focus? Are they objective about setbacks and stumbling blocks and surprises and things not going their way? Are they diligent about projects and deadlines? And is it important to them to not let other people down? This is really important to be looking for, because this all feeds into how important is commitment in their value system, what matters most to them. So goal orientation is 1. Is it important to them to set goals? Do they like setting goals? And do they have evidence around how they have worked towards and measured their progress towards those goals? What about their level of achievement? How important is it to that leader to actually deliver on the promise, to achieve? How readily do they see themselves achieving it? Can they imagine how they're going to feel when they achieve? This all plays into their motivators. And for leadership, for commitment to drive change, drive high value outcomes, commitment is absolutely key. So someone who is not so strong on the commitment level, you're going to see their attitude is perhaps that they will be intimidated by goals, intimidated by measures. They may lack a sense of purpose. Strong, committed leaders are committed to where they're going. They've got not only the vision for where they're going, but they've got the plan of how to get there. So someone without that level of commitment may look as though they lack a sense of purpose. And they may find themselves very easily distracted. So how tenacious are they? How committed do they stay to task when other things get in their way? We all have heard of the shiny object syndrome. So this is where a committed leader may have all the right words and be totally committed to setting goals and like the idea of setting goals, but what is their track record of actually working the process and achieving those goals? Is that a high value to them? Does that matter to them? And do they demonstrate those skills already? So commitment and control are the two most important elements for this quality that we look for in our leaders and in high stakes environments, and that is resilience. So when we get a committed leader who is both goal focused and motivated by achieving, and they demonstrate high levels of self-control, life control, emotional control, you have the makeup of somebody who is likely to succeed and stay in the game long enough and do the work required to change, to grow, to learn, to get the job done. Because that's the most fantastic part about all of these dimensions in the mental toughness model, and that is that all of them represent who we are being in a point in time, and each of these, whether it's confidence, control, commitment, and the fourth one that we'll talk about next week being challenge, these are all malleable to change. We can develop them, we can grow them, we can become stronger in each of these four elements. So I trust you've learned something, you've gained some greater insight into this construct of commitment and being around goal orientation, achievement orientation, how that pertains to leadership and positive leadership. And I look forward to speaking to you next week, where we will cover the important topic of challenge. Thank you so much for watching.